And now, as the dice roll, brought to you today by Bags of Mirrors. Nothing helps you reflect on your choices like a bag of mirrors.
Previously on What Is Not.
Have we just left Frank to wither there out in the desert sun?
Were we going to bring the door with us?
Athena is sitting doing the books. She's a little concerned because she hasn't been open as much as she's wanted to be because she's got some house guests.
I guess we have a helicopter now.
He introduces himself as Carl Eddington, and he works for a friend of Beth's. It sounds like you just released a Cadejo. They're devil's dogs.
He bit the security dude who knew how to fly a helicopter, but that's worn off.
We wanted the helicopter to be able to fly itself. The spell worked, and there were no unwanted side effects.
In the sand of the Mojave Desert in California, off historic Route 66, sits a small desert town called Baghdad.
We have some ancient prophecy that something bad's going to go down in Baghdad.
It's a town of shadows and secrets,
Things aren't as they seem, but we're still not quite sure what's going on.
where bumps in the night aren't the house settling,
trying to find answers.
and the monster under your bed lies in wait for your foot to leave the safety of your covers.
My mom used to tell me all of these weird stories about monsters, but I didn't really believe anything she said because, that's crazy talk.
It's a world where cultists spend their days pushing papers at the DMV and their nights summoning ancient creatures from the dread beyond.
Seeing maybe something happened down at Cryptocore.
The expert,
Susan Donaldson, the town vet.
the freelancer,
People call me Beth. Hunting is sort of just like a business that I'm in.
the deathless,
Bruce the zombie and his father cast a spell to bring him back.
the initiate,
Donovan Pelayan, part of an ancient order of monster hunters.
the monstrous,
Zeke Solardier. He works for Cryptocore, which is his family's corporation.
It's a town where it's very hard to tell what is real and what is not. Welcome to Baghdad.
You are all standing in the front yard of Athena's home at the armory in front of a helicopter. What do you want to do?
Well, everybody, I've magically enchanted the helicopter so that it will respond to voice commands, so any of us can pilot it.
That sounds really safe.
Yep. Super safe.
Yep, and the spell went off perfectly, so everything's going to be great, guys.
I don't know if I believe you.
So, as I see it, we have two options. We have try to find the cheerleader or try to find that other lady and her boyfriend.
I think the cheerleader and the lady with the boyfriend are both the same person.
We have one option. It's really the only choice.
Can we vote on this?
So, to the desert?
What about this plan that we're supposed to be making?
I want to know for the helicopter, can I use Hey Siri? Is that the way it's going to work? Is it going to work as well as that?
I don't know what its activation word is. Should we make one up?
Oh, I think we must.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
God.
I look to Athena and I guess we're off again. And I look to the cryptids and ask who's joining us.
Well, if you're going in the helicopter, I think at most you can fit 6 people, like the pilot and somebody in the shotgun. And then maybe we'll say it's big enough that there are 2 sets of 2 seats behind that, which would be enough for 6 people. And there are 5 players. So at most you could bring 1 person, which I would probably suggest not be Ralph. That would be awkward.
Of all of our, NPC companions, who's the best at coming up with plans?
We're outsourcing to the NPCs our planning.
I think that would have to be the basilisk, I think.
The basilisk is not part of our group. God, Athena must be on like her third martini right now. Just like,
Third.
just like, I'm so done.
Oh, did I also hear something in the backstory that Athena's getting pissed because she's running low on money?
She's not pissed. She's just concerned.
Should we give her some money? We should be giving her some money. Like rent?
Maybe the first thing we should do instead of going out and with Heidi the helicopter, I think it's going to be Heidi.
Heidi. That works.
Heidi or Helga, but yeah, is to maybe rob a bank or something.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
We're the good guys. What?
Well, it's for a good cause.
Wait, could we ask Vic? Vic, how are you funded?
I have a really good job as a librarian.
So there's nobody like giving you money. Like
no,
you don't have a source of funds.
It's like any other career that does not pay off well. You have to have a day job, and my day job is librarian.
I think we need some crowdfunding here.
Is there a type of Baghdad cryptocurrency we can invest in?
Yes, yes, that's it. Cryptocurrency crowdfunding.
Don't all of us have jobs?
Susan's the only vet in the city, I'm assuming, although she hasn't been doing her job for like a month. Pretty sure that she used to bring in a good amount of money.
Are we still in that time frame where Susan could potentially try and get a PPP loan? I know plenty of companies that got PPP loans and they were supposed to use it for their job, but they didn't. And then, they didn't have to pay anything on it. So I'm just throwing the idea out there.
I've tried to give Athena money before and she won't take my money. So that's why I was thinking if we could like crowdfund, not rob a bank.
Are you having this conversation in front of Athena?
I know she's in the house. We're in the yard.
I don't know who brought the money up.
No, she was looking at the books. So actually, technically, we wouldn't even know.
Yeah, you actually don't know that she's in any sort of financial trouble.
Oh, never mind.
Maybe we can find that out by somebody going in the house and seeing that she has the books out on the table.
Maybe she should turn the armory into an Airbnb.
Stop it.
I think I would probably know that she was struggling.
Would you though? Would she actually tell you, or would she not want to burden you with that information?
Maybe just the fact that she's crying into her martinis alerts us.
Well, that could just be because she's got a freaking Sasquatch on her property.
And a helicopter in her front yard.
Okay, so maybe we don't know yet. And it's something that we're going to have to find out because we do know.
Like I said, one of us can go in the house and just happen to see what she's doing.
What about Bat Kid? Like, I feel like he would make some kind of random observation without even understanding the consequences.
I don't know that he would know anything about, because you got to remember, Bat Kid has never actually been out in the world. He has either been cooped up in a laboratory being experimented on, or he's been on the run doing these like rescue cryptid things that Elvis and his group do. So
that's what I mean. He might walk in and be like, oh, she doesn't look too happy. She's got this book open with like numbers.
Okay, Bruce would like to, using the song Hey Mickey, if I haven't already used that one, I don't remember, wants to do a cheerleading modernized dance to ask Vic what is the best way for us to go find the cheerleader.
Okay.
Wait, is Vic with us at the moment?
Yeah.
Yes. You got the whole shebangs all right there. I would say that Vic can understand this whole dance, and their response is, well, you all are the ones who have been following her, so you probably have more information than I do.
Bruce gives the hand gestures that represent him saying touche.
I think we knew she was in one of a couple houses in the desert, right?
Yes.
Did we already triangulate where, though,
exactly? Yes.
Oh, never mind then. Retcon that. That never happened.
I will delete all of this section. Yes, you used the fact that there was no cell phone reception in certain locations to narrow it down to 2 houses in the middle of the desert.
Well, I mean, we've got the helicopter, so let's just check them both out.
Yes, and I think the extra seat in the helicopter we should use to bring Batboy with us because he can fly. So if we're in the helicopter and we need to send someone down for scouting, or if the helicopter starts to crash, he can jump out and fly.
Well, if he can fly, does he even need a seat at all? Why not just fly alongside the helicopter?
Well, because he'll get tired.
Shouldn't we potentially leave a seat open for the cheerleader?
Oh, no, I don't see why.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe, Vic, could you follow us with the van? Or maybe some of us can go with you in the van, some in the helicopter, because you're right. That's a good point. If we need to get Mason and Daisy out of there, we probably shouldn't be doing that in a helicopter where she could turn any of us to stone.
Now, does this take place in the future?
No, it takes place in, it's modern day.
Oh, I thought perhaps that bullet train they're building to Vegas would have already been built, and that would provide us another transportation option.
No. And even if it was 20 years in the future, it still wouldn't be done.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
That's quite true.
All right, so let's go find the cheerleader and maybe convince the rest of our NPC community to start figuring out a way to make some like passive income for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what else are they going to do?
Yeah, that's true.
Do any of them have special computer skills?
You know what? They could sell NFTs of
Of
their
Elvis.
artwork. Yeah.
And frozen, stone people. And
I think we have some good imagery and artistry amongst us.
They will get right on that, and they will let you guys take care of the helicopter and to go find the cheerleader.
Joe is like, move on.
Now, what are we going to do? Now, is the cheerleader a Gorgon? She's like a Medusa who can turn people to stone, right? So what are we going to do to avoid getting turned into stone? Just like not look at her?
not look at her. We cannot look at her.
Okay.
So I believe as long as our eyes are closed, that is our best weapon.
Is it that we can't look at her at all, or we just can't look into her eyes or her
We
face?
can't look at her directly, like in the eyes, because even with Medusa and the Basilisk, as long as you look at their reflection, you can't get petrified or turn to stone.
But like, even if we look at her back as she runs away, we'll still turn to stone?
No, it's the eyes.
It's the eyes. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think we should go. I think we should go just see what we find. I mean, it's hard to have a plan when we don't even know.
Does anybody have any mirrors?
Oh, mirrors.
We need some mirrors.
Good plan.
I feel like as a fashionista, Bruce would have lots of.
I think.
Yes, I was going to say, Bruce definitely has like a bag of mirrors somewhere.
Yeah.
Bag of mirrors.
I don't know. Just trying to help out here. I'll leave.
Bruce pulls out this army duffel bag and just pours out mirrors.
Different sizes,
exactly.
obviously.
Yes.
Which are all in pristine, unbroken condition, as we would expect.
Obviously.
We can say that there are a variety of mirrors that you can glean from the property that you are currently on if you want to take, say, 3 or 4 mirrors.
Yo, Athena, you think we can raid your house of mirrors? Is that fine?
She just kind of waves in the affirmative. Sure. Go ahead.
She's like, whatever, pours herself another martini. She's like, I'm done.
To the unnamed helicopter.
I thought it was Heidi.
It's Heidi.
Oh, we named it Heidi? Okay, cool.
Hey, Heidi.
To Heidi.
All right, so you all hop into Heidi, and sounds wrong.
Yep.
We're getting deep in Heidi.
Just getting all up in there.
Let's fill her up.
This is being recorded on the day that we turn over to daylight saving time, so we're all a little...
Don't make excuses for us.
I'm a little punchy. Okay, so you are in the helicopter, and the helicopter is now flying towards... I think we said that there was a northern... One of our listeners will have to go back and tell us if we're wrong, but I think there's a northern house and a southern house, and you can pick which one you want to go to.
I know that we can voice command this helicopter, but what are we were like, hey Heidi, fly? Like, is that accurate? Like, I don't understand.
I think in our case, it wouldn't so much be "Hey Heidi." Maybe it's "Howdy Heidi."
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Howdy, Heidi. Do we just like tell her to fly? Or, sorry, is Heidi's pronouns she, her? Just to verify. Is that what we're using?
We have to be very clear here. Heidi is not alive.
No, Heidi's just a helicopter.
No.
Heidi is just a helicopter
Okay.
that reacts on voice command.
Okay. I just want to make sure we didn't give her a consciousness or anything like that.
No, this is not another Frank situation.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Okay, just checking.
Get the bazooka out.
Yes, let's just bazooka the helicopter. That sounds great.
It's an option.
Yes, it is. But really, though, how do we fly this helicopter?
I think that's right. We say "Howdy Heidi," lift off, and then "Howdy Heidi," set a course for north and full speed ahead, stuff like that.
I'm sure she has advanced GPS capabilities, so we could probably just tell her the person and she'll know where to go.
Or at least like the address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll allow that. That's fine.
Okay.
So, yeah. But we do need to pick which house, north house or south house.
Why don't we circle and then go to the north if we don't see anything?
Sounds good.
So you're going to go south first and then up to north if you don't see anything?
Yeah, let's circle to the south and then come back up.
Okay, so the helicopter, you all get yourself buckled in. Somebody says, "Howdy, Heidi. Can you take us to this location?" The helicopter shudders, the blades start spinning, and the helicopter takes off on its own accord and starts flying towards the southernmost house out of the two.
Have we yet established, is any of us actually in the helicopter at this point when it takes off and starts flying?
Yes.
We're all in it, right?
Oh, we all fit. Okay, this is a high capacity helicopter.
All deep inside Heidi.
Would you pay attention, Matt?
We've got one empty seat.
One empty seat.
And we're keeping the empty seat open for the cheerleader. And the boyfriend can hold on to the landing gear outside.
Exactly.
Poor Mason. Something tells me he didn't sign up for any of this. Hello, I'm Joe Hogan, the editor of As the Dice Roll. I hope you're enjoying this episode of What Is Not. I wanted to thank everyone for their patience as I took the much-needed break. I should be able to catch up a little easier now that I've had some downtime. We had a great time on our trip, although the travel itself was a nightmare. So if you want to hear all about it, I'm sure we will be talking about it on episode 240 of my other podcast, Geektitude, which should be coming out either this Sunday, July 3rd, or if not then the following week on July 10th. A couple of things about this week's episode. At some point, we started calling the helicopter an elevator, and no one corrected anyone. So if you hear that, don't get confused. We were all very tired when we recorded this episode. Also, I mentioned at one point the pictures of the desert houses that we would keep referring to. I've actually posted some examples to our Instagram, which is at As the Dice Roll. Some of you who joined a few episodes in might not realize there's actually a place called Baghdad, California. It was a ghost town until 1991 when the last of the buildings were taken down. All that's left now is a big tree, a few foundations, and a graveyard. But that's what served as the inspiration for What Is Not, and I try to keep all surrounding locations as true to life as I can. If Instagram's not your thing, you can follow us on Twitter at AsTheDiceRollRP, or you can send us an email at podcast@asthedicerollcast.com. And if you'd like to chat with us in real time, head on over to geekmedia.com and go to the Contact Us tab where you can connect with us via our Slack channel or Discord servers. And of course, if you want to listen to the cast in all their other online endeavors, you can listen to Todd on his podcasts, Nerdberg Review and Farming Simulated. You can catch Katie on Tea Time with Katie and Chelsea, Can't Stop Me Loving K-Pop, and Disney Forever. And as mentioned before, you can always listen to me on my podcast, Geektitude. That's it for me this week. I'll be back here on Friday, July 8th with the next episode of Cautious Optimism, and then again on Friday, July 15th with the next episode of What Is Not. Until then, let's see how well Heidi flies herself right after a quick commercial break. When toxic culture has you down,
when you're just looking to laugh and have fun,
kick back and enjoy watching a video game,
or just make some new friends,
it's time to visit the Geek to Geek Media Network, a community of podcasters, streamers, and bloggers.
Well, more of a family. than a community.
All dedicated to geeking out about the things we love. Things like
Video games,
Star Wars, comics,
movies,
K-pop,
Disney Plus,
Keanu Reeves.
No.
Or whatever our community decides is the next best thing.
That's right. We have a great online community on Slack and Discord where we chat about our weekly geekery with listeners and viewers.
and each other.
Yep, and each other in real time, and we can't wait for you to join us.
So come check us out at geek2geekmedia.com.
and escape toxic fandom for something much more.
Keanu?
Yes, Keanu.
Okay, so as you approach the southern house, you can see from a bit of a distance away that it looks like there's multiple vehicles driven up to the house.
Are they like black vans with tinted windows, or what kind of vehicles are they?
They're white vans, and they have the Cryptocore logo across the side.
Oh.
And then there is what looks like kind of a black Humvee hanging out there.
What time of the day is it, just to make sure we can actually see this, or is it weirdly night?
No, because we ended the session around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, so it's probably sometime between 3 and 4.
Okay.
Okay, so now we need a plan, I think.
Oh, why start now?
Should we focus now on the southern house and maybe land the helicopter a little ways away so that we can kind of maybe creep up from behind?
Yeah.
I don't know that a helicopter landing in the middle of the desert is going to be hidden, even if it were like 6 kilometers away. I mean,
Is this a stealth helicopter? Does it have stealth mode?
oh, that's true. I'm sure Heidi's stealth.
It is not a stealth helicopter. It is just a regular old helicopter meant for carrying passengers, and occasionally it can carry cargo.
Could Bat Boy shuttle people back and forth from the helicopter?
When did Bat Boy come with us?
We left that boy behind, so we can leave
Oh, okay. I missed.
Like I said earlier, get it together, Matt.
Daylight saving time.
Do we see any people?
You seem to see a figure or two. You're still a ways off, but you can kind of make out a figure or two around the vans, but they don't seem to be moving around much.
This is the south house we're looking at?
Yes.
Did anybody bring binoculars?
You could maybe fashion them out of all those mirrors.
No, I don't think it works like that.
You're thinking of a periscope, but binoculars are lenses.
Do you think from this distance they could hear us?
Yeah, you can hear a helicopter pretty far off out here. It's the desert. Like there's not a lot to buffer the sound.
Okay. I vote that we land, and yes, we might not be very secretive, but we could start. If we need to, we can run back to the elevator and get out.
So you said there were several white vans and the black?
There's 2 white vans that have the Cryptocore logo on the side and a black Humvee.
So we're talking at least probably half a dozen Cryptocore people or security or something.
Yeah, but the 2 people outside are not moving, and they're not noticing that there's a helicopter coming their direction.
Have we done the flyby on the north house yet?
Negative.
Let's do that first, just so we know what we're seeing.
That's true. This could be a decoy or something.
Some sort of weird secret meeting of Cryptocore stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something, but you're right. We don't know for sure that it's the cheerleader. Maybe we should go check out. Do we know about how long it would take to get to the North House from here?
I would say probably 5 minutes. Again, the valley's not huge.
Yeah,
That's
just
nothing.
north and
Yeah, let's
outside
do
the
it.
town, right? Yeah.
And you're in a helicopter.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to
fly
the
by
North House.
Okay, so as you approach the northern house, you just see a house. There doesn't seem to be anything in front of it. It's like all the other individual shanties out in the desert.
That's the one.
Let's go check that one out, since at least it seems a little safer. And if it's only 5 minutes, we can maybe make our way to the other one by foot.
Well, it's 5 minutes by helicopter, not 5 minutes on foot.
It's 5 minutes by helicopter. It's going to be a good 20 to 30 minutes by foot.
But that still seems safer than landing the helicopter, and 20, 30 minutes isn't bad.
But if it's just an empty shanty in the desert, I mean, are we just wasting our time with that?
I mean,
we don't know.
We don't know what happened to Daisy. She just disappeared. Did she disappear with her car or anything? Do we know anything about her disappearance beyond the fact that she's just missing?
We know that she is the reason why 2 people became stone, and it's because they looked into her eyes. And we think that she was, that they did some kind of experiment with her. We don't know this for sure, but we think that's how she got her powers.
And she's, what, 16? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should land and just at least check this house out. At least it seems safer than landing by the other one.
Before we land, I am going to use magic. Specifically, I'm going to use observe another place or time.
Ooh.
I'm going to create a little magic portal in the elevator through which we can see inside this northern house that appears empty. So we see if we can verify if anybody's in there or not.
Nice.
That's excellent planning.
Cool.
All right. Rolling some dice. That is 5 plus my 3, and weird is 8.
Okay. I always forget what that, because 8 means that something happens.
No, 8 means it worked perfectly. Super success. On a 7 through 9, it works imperfectly, according to the dumb rules. Choose your effect and a glitch. The keeper will decide what the glitch has. So
I'm going to say that because you are in a helicopter that is moving, that it is just a shortened, weakened duration. So you can only see for a moment into one of the rooms in this house. And it's not a very big house, so there's not a lot of rooms, but you look into like the main living area of this room. You see a lot of trash. You see a mattress on the ground. It looks like there might be somebody sleeping on it. There's certainly like a pile of blankets or something like that, but just like a lot of trash and junk, and it's pretty much open to the elements.
Okay, so there's probably somebody down there, guys, but it could just be a homeless person. I mean, it didn't work very well, guys. I don't know if it's a cheerleader or not.
It was a great idea. I think now we just need to go look. If they're sleeping, at least we're probably safe to check it out.
Sounds good.
Howdy, Heidi, land.
All right, so Heidi kind of shudders a little bit and then turns and adjusts its course to the northern house proper and slowly and carefully lands in the front yard. I use the word yard loosely. Lands in front of the house.
Okay, so after Heidi finishes going down with us, I think we're going to get out of the helicopter and approach the building cautiously, right?
I think eyes should be on the ground.
Yeah, good point.
We have the mirrors. We could walk backwards.
Yeah. If we have the mirrors, we're going to walk backwards.
I think Bruce should run ahead holding a mirror, and then we all look into it. So he's kind of,
All right, Bruce does that.
Does he still have his Napoleon hat on?
Maybe
he switched away from the Napoleon.
Yeah, I think once the thing wore off, I was kind of like, I'm not an asshole anymore.
Got it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
All right, so let me understand this. So you're all walking backwards with Bruce following behind so you can see where you're going in a mirror.
Well, no, the opposite. Bruce is going ahead and holding the mirror at an angle so that we can look into the mirror instead of in front of us.
I could also shout out Mason. I whisper this to everyone. Should I shout out Mason and say it's Susan? So if it's them, they know they're safe?
Oh, well, maybe that is a good idea. What if you go on ahead? We'll stay in the back to support you. Because you know them. So if you can make peaceful contact with them, it might freak them out to see 5 people and a zombie coming at them with
Susan's
a big mirror.
Jane Goodall moment with the cheerleaders.
I think that's actually an okay idea, but I'm going to be covering my eyes and just...
Sure.
Yeah.
Can we do recon first before we do that? Obviously, is there some sort of fence blocking us from getting on all around the house or anything like that?
No, it is literally a square house. I really should send you guys pictures of what these houses look like. They're very sad. It is just a square house, no windows, nothing boarded up, no doors, barely a roof holding on, and it is just this tiny little square house in the middle of the desert. And then if you walk for 5 minutes in a direction, you might see a couple more off in the distance. They are very spread out. and they're just shells of buildings.
Oh, so it's like an abandoned house that's like been reclaimed by the desert kind of deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
So maybe we should look around before we start shouting stuff and getting turned to stone?
We could. I'm fine though. I've already have an idea where the door is. I'm covering my eyes and I'm ready to go. I can start walking toward it.
Just go.
Go.
I'll stand behind Zeke if anybody needs me. Don't turn into a red panda.
So I'm kind of like guided because now that I have an idea where the door is, I have my hand over my eyes and I go up to the door. Is the door open? Like if I kind of feel the wall of the house and move my hand toward the wall.
There's really no door.
Okay.
Yeah, there's really no door. It's just no door, no windows. The windows have been broken out a long time ago. There might be like a door leading up against a wall somewhere, but nobody sees the door.
Okay. I say, "Hello, is anybody here? Daisy, Mason, it's Susan."
Hello.
There's no response.
Perhaps the body is dead.
Well, we don't know if there's a person in there. We just saw a pile of blankets. So we're just assuming that under the pile of blankets is a person.
Oh, I thought Joe said there was a person laying on the mattress.
At one point, maybe. Yeah. So
Bruce charges in.
I mean, can he get turned to stone?
We'll find out.
I guess.
And while he's charging in, I start to I'm looking at the ground and I'm slowly like moving my vision up to where I could see things.
Okay, so you're kind of doing, I totally understand what you're doing. You're doing the whole little like look up but looking down thing. I get it. Bruce just barrels in.
Nope, tumbles in.
So very dramatic barrel roll into the main part of this house. The pile of blankets like leaps up and it's this dirty old homeless guy who is like, and he's just mumbling and making kind of noises, but he's not like, he starts like shaking his fist at you. He's like making himself look really big. So you go away.
Bruce would like to try and communicate with him via mumbling in return.
All right. So are you intending anything with this mumbling?
I want to ask him if he's seen a basilisk.
He mumbles back at you?
Yes.
And you understand that because this, it's just too ridiculous to not work. So he mumbles back at you and you understand that he means to say, "What the hell is a basilisk?"
Bruce turns around and walks out. Gives the all clear symbol.
Yeah. Howdy, Heidi, take off again.
I look up and I say, "Are you okay? Do you need any help?"
He just kind of mumbles in again.
To whom? This homeless person?
Yeah, I think that's who she's talking to.
Yeah. I have my phone with me and I have a picture of Daisy on it, right? Because we had that picture from before.
Yeah, you do.
I walk up and I, very gently and slowly, and I point to the picture on the phone and kind of like use my body language to say, "Question?"
Roll act under pressure.
Uh-oh. Is he going to attack me? Gosh dang it. 8 act under pressure. I use...
You might use smart for that one.
It's cool.
I use sharp. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11.
I thought it was plus cool for act under pressure.
I have a move.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah. She's got a special move. So what happens is he kind of like looks at you and he's trying to figure out what you do. And when you get like a certain distance away from him, he starts shouting and mumbling again and lunges at you, but you move out of the way in time and he kind of falls on the floor.
Aww.
But he's still like yelling and mumbling. And
do we have any water in the helicopter? He's on the floor and I got out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of kneel down and very gently like try to touch his shoulder. Just very light touch.
He jerks it away and then he takes a swing at you.
I think we need to move on.
I don't want to leave this.
We're not a social services agency.
I basically try to not block, but like grab the arm that's coming toward me.
Okay. Roll act under pressure.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. Okay. Let me see. We haven't played in a while. I have forgotten some of our moves.
I know, me too. Act under pressure. The keeper is going to give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay.
All right. So your worst outcome is that he grabs you and now you are wrestling kind of on the floor. Or he can knock the phone out of your hand and break it. Or
we're wrestling on the floor and I start to sing, row, row, row your boat gently down the street. What? Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
He is going to hit you and you take 1 harm.
Oh my God. Bruce is going to look at his phone and realize that Susan still hasn't come out. So he's going to go run back in the game plan was he was going to pick her up, throw her over his shoulder and carry her back to the helicopter.
Uh-huh.
But obviously he's going to come in and find the current situation.
Okay.
So he's going to want to do physical, get the dude off of her so that we can leave.
Yeah, and I stopped singing, obviously, when I got hit in the face.
Yeah, I'll do some kick ass on him or whatever.
All right, so you're going to kick some ass. Go for it.
Yeah.
Why are we beating up a homeless man?
That is holy shit. That's a 6.
I can help. I'm on the floor. I just got hit, but I can still try to help him, wrestle him into a position where he can't hurt us. Can I help?
Yeah, you can help.
Okay, that's a 10. What's the help? What do you add to help? Cool. 10. Yeah, 10. Oh no, -1. 10, 9. I got a 9.
A 9. Your help grants them +1 to the roll, but you also expose yourself to trouble or danger. You've already exposed yourself to trouble or danger. So I would say the way the struggle has gone, he is now in between you and Bruce. And in the struggle, he kicks Bruce and inflicts 1 harm.
I'm dead.
No! Next time on What Is Not.
I just run in and shoot a gun in the air to get everybody to knock off whatever it is that's happening.
So good news is we don't have to worry about fighting the agents. The bad news is that she's totally turning people to stone when they come in the building.
Oh my God, go away! Leave me alone!
Could we just ask her to put a bag over her head?
You've been listening to As the Dice Roll. The As the Dice Roll intro music is The Soap Opera by James Bowers. You can find and license his music through Pond5 at pond5.com. All the rest of the music in this episode is by Darren Curtis and can be found at darrencurtismusic.com. The opening voiceover is by our very own Rob Sometimes. You can find his podcast at comicbox.libsyn.com. And the As the Dice Roll logo was created by Maricel Edwards. Check out her book No Great Matter at msedwards.com. As the Dice Roll is a proud member of the Geek to Geek Media Network. Check out other Geek to Geek shows, streams, and content at geektogeekmedia.com. If you'd like to contact the show, you can send an email to podcast@asthedicerollcast.com. Individual players and GMs' social media can be found on our website at asthedicerollcast.com.